Hey everyone, and welcome. Let's talk about a huge problem in the world of sales. Companies spend billions on training, but what if I told you most of that investment just vanishes into thin air? Today, we're going to explore how AI sales coaching is completely changing that, turning knowledge that's easily forgotten into real, measurable results. So first up, let's dive right into this giant, and honestly kind of hidden problem that just about every sales leader is dealing with, the staggering cost of failure when it comes to coaching. I want you to think about the last big sales training your company invested in. The workshops, the role-playing, all of it. Now, look at this number, a really big one, 85%. But 85% of what? That's right, a whopping 85% of all that time, money, and effort you pour into traditional sales training, it just disappears within 90 days. It's a classic phenomenon known as the forgetting curve, and for a sales team, it means your entire investment can evaporate in just one business quarter. And believe me, that kind of training amnesia isn't just a frustrating little problem. It has a very, very real price tag. For your average mid-sized company, we're talking about millions of dollars. Yeah, that's $2.7 million every single year just gone, wasted on lost productivity and missed targets, all because the old-school coaching methods just don't stick. And if you look at the data, it paints a really stark picture of how deep this problem goes. Almost half of all reps consistently miss their quota. And when you ask their leaders why, 40% point their finger directly at inconsistent coaching. So this isn't just a minor issue. It's a full-blown crisis that's hammering the bottom line. Okay, so it's pretty clear the old way is broken. So what's the fix? Well, this is where technology really starts to change the game and offers a totally new approach. So what exactly is it? Think of it like this. AI sales coaching gives every single person on your team their own personal on-demand coach. It actually analyzes how they communicate and then gives them feedback based on hard data to help them get better, instantly. And this is where it gets really interesting. The advantages here are, well, they're game changers. For one, the feedback is totally unbiased. It's all about the data, nothing else. Two, reps get a safe space to practice, to fail, and to get better without any judgment. Plus, it's available 24/7, and you can scale it from a tiny team to 10,000 people without breaking a sweat. And the results? Well, they pretty much speak for themselves. We're seeing organizations that use AI coaching hit up to 30% higher quota attainment compared to everyone else. That's not just a small bump. That is a massive, measurable lift in performance. All right, so let's put these two head to head. How does this new AI approach really stack up against the old school way of doing things? Let's find out. When you put them side by side like this, the difference is just night and day. On one hand, you've got traditional coaching, which is, let's be honest, often just based on a manager's gut feeling. It's limited by their time, and it's almost impossible to scale consistently. AI coaching just flips that script entirely. It's driven by objective data, it's always available, and you can scale it to infinity. Let's break this down even further. Cost per rep? With AI, we're talking about 80% lower. That's huge. The risk of human bias creeping in? Gone. It's replaced by pure data. And maybe the most important part, you can actually see your return on investment in real time, through actual changes in behavior, instead of just waiting around for those end-of-quarter reports. Okay, this all sounds great, right? But making it a reality for your team means picking the right technology partner. So with all the options out there, how do you find the one that's the best fit? And that is a really critical question, because it's not just about finding the fanciest tech with the most bells and whistles. It's about finding a solution that genuinely drives the behavioral changes that are going to lead to better results. So here's a little checklist for you. 7 things you absolutely have to look for. Of course, you need to see a measurable ROI and a platform that people will actually want to use. But don't forget the boring but important stuff. Seamless integration with the tools you already use, like your CRM, ironclad data security, and proven case studies that actually back up what they're claiming. All right, let's zoom out for a second. What does the rise of this kind of technology really mean for the future of sales organizations? See, at the end of the day, this isn't just about teaching someone a new closing technique. The real goal here is much bigger. It's about creating deep, fundamental, and lasting change in behavior, rewiring the habits that lead to building trust and closing deals for the long haul. And that brings us to a quote that I think reframes this whole conversation. The question really isn't, can we afford to invest in this? It's, can we afford not to? This technology is quickly moving from being just another line item on a budget to being a strategic necessity if you want to stay competitive. Which really leaves all of us with one final, pretty powerful question to think about for our own teams. If you know your competition is getting smarter every single day, can you really afford to stand still? Thanks so much for tuning in.